Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from gorgeous San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I'm so excited to be here with you this morning. It's my desire to liberate folks from the thief of joy. The thief of joy is comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison will rob you of your joy. I love bridges, y'all. Sorry, I love bridges. Woo, I love the way bridges sound when you drive under them. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you judge yourself based upon any other criteria from another human being, that means, well, she's prettier than me. She's skinnier than me. She's thicker than me. She's wealthier than me. She's more connected than me. She makes more money than me. She has a better car than me. She has a better husband than me. You guys get the idea. Comparison is the thief of joy. And here's what I want to share with you this morning. And I'm going to tell it to you from a believer standpoint and from a non-faith-based standpoint. From the believer standpoint, here's the deal. When you're walking in obedience, there is no competition. Good morning, Brother Carl. Love you, man. Keep that tinting going. Y'all need your cars tinted? He'll come out to you. Carl Kavanaugh. Meet him on this thread. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when you're obedient to your calling, there is no competition. You cannot compete because no two people have the same calling or destiny. Your calling is based on your personal obedience. Do you know there's a guy that won one guy to Jesus, and then there's Billy Graham, who won millions of people to Jesus, and both of them earned the same reward. You want to know why? Because the one guy that won the one guy to Jesus was the guy that won Billy Graham to Jesus. And that may have been God's calling. Just lead that one guy to Jesus. And that guy gets the same reward because Billy went on to win millions. So when you're walking in obedience to what you believe is your calling and destiny, there is no competition because you're just doing the right thing. Now, for the non-faith-based, which I hope is a huge member base of those who follow the videos, it's simply this. When you truly know and love yourself, what I mean by that is you've gotten over your issues, you've gotten over the scar on your head, you've gotten over that you have greasy hair, you've gotten over that your nose ain't just the way that you want it to be, you've gotten over the stupid mistakes that you make when you go on that diet 57 times and then you decide that one night when you're driving past Krispy Kreme and that big red light is on and you enter the red light district of your temptation zone and you pull in there, I'm going to take them home to the kids, and you get home and it's like, what happened to your face? I done ate 8 of the 12 donuts. You want some? And you have fallen over and over and over again. When you know and love yourself and have grace for yourself, then, my friend, you don't have to walk in any competition because you can fulfill what you believe is the calling for your heart. The calling for your heart positions you to have a very unique expression of your uniqueness in this life. And comparison being the thief of joy, comparison now disappears because you no longer are judging yourself based on another human being. You are judging yourself, if you will, having grace for yourself, I hope, in that you are growing and learning and evolving as a person, doing your best like Bill Murray did on Groundhog Day, which is you wake up every day and you get another shot to do this thing right. You get another shot to live life right. You get another shot to encounter the same people and have a different interaction this time until you're able to create this life by design rather than a life by default, recognizing that for things to change, you've got to change. For things to get better, you've got to get better. It all happens with you. If you're waiting for an external thing to be the catalyst, it ain't going to happen. The only time external things will change you is when it's an external, dire, straight emergency that causes you to be forced into a reactionary change. You change. My wife, she can take it or leave it, man. That's how it was. I told her I married her. We all good. Then he comes home and the wife and the kids are moved out. Holy hell, what just happened? Now Uncle Buck's going to maybe go to counseling. Maybe Uncle Buck's going to read a book or two. Maybe he's going to actually start digging in to figure out what maybe could be the problem, and one day realizes he was a large part of it. So when you truly know and love yourself, then you can fulfill your unique expression of what you believe you're called to do. And then there's no competition. Now, can you have fun and see people who are on the same business in the same industry and say, wow, they're really doing great. I'd like to emulate that and move towards that and see if maybe I can exceed that. If that guy can do that, maybe I can do that too. Or maybe I can do that better. That's different than the thief of joy, which gnaws on a person and causes them to feel small because they compare themselves to somebody else. Listen to what I'm about to say. I'm going to drop a nugget bomb right here. Be very, very, very careful if you can walk into a room and find yourself feeling inferior to other people. Be very careful if you can find yourself walking into a room and feel inferior to people. Do you know why you want to be careful? If that's a challenge for you, if you can walk into a room and feel inferior to people, here's the reason why it's a challenge. Because that means you qualify to walk into a room and feel superior to other people. Did y'all catch that? That was kind of like an internet slap. Be very careful if you find yourself able to be in a room and feel inferior, because that means you will walk into a room one day where you will feel superior. And I have news for you. You ain't, and I ain't neither. We all on this same boat. We're all on the same trip. We're all on planet Earth doing the very best that we can. So I will conclude with the faith-based conversation, and I will conclude with the not faith-based conversation. The faith-based conversation is this: when you are obedient to what you believe God is calling you to do, there can be no competition because it is your unique calling. There's no competition when you're walking in obedience. Obedience eliminates competition. Following what you believe God has called you to do, there's no competition in that because that's just for you. For the non-faith-based conversation, when you truly know and love yourself and you can accept yourself and have grace for yourself, it gives you the ability to have compassion and grace for other people, because you have to first show it to yourself. Jesus said it this way: love your neighbor as you love yourself. Most people are not cool with their neighbors because deep down they don't love themselves. They don't give themselves grace. They don't give themselves a break. They don't say, come on, boy, we can do it. Let's do better this time. Let's make it happen again. Let's go. Most people will dog themselves. Let me ask you this question, ladies and gentlemen. If I talked to you the way you talk to yourself in your head, would we be friends? It's a good question to think about, right? So what is my point? When you love and know yourself and you have a clear desire about what it is that you would choose to do in this life, you no longer have to compare yourself to other people, because comparison is the thief of joy. And you don't want to have your joy stolen, do you? I mean, joy is a really great thing because joy doesn't have to do with happiness. Joy comes from inside, and you can have that. So I leave you with this today. Do your best to love yourself. Do your best to have grace for yourself. Do your best to be kind to yourself. Because, ladies and gentlemen, whether you believe it or not, the way you treat yourself in your head is the way you treat us out here. The way you're speaking to yourself is the way you're speaking to us. The way you treat yourself in your head is the way you're treating the rest of us. So, for the love of all that's holy, treat yourself great, because we want to be treated great by you. Have a great day, guys.